guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, are you guys looking to get a Samsung Frame TV? If you are, I think you really need to watch this video. There's some key issues here which I'm going to explain to you guys and give you a really quick review to help you decide whether you want to buy this TV or not. Now, we've owned this for almost a year and I'm going to tell you now whether I think it measures up. Okay, so the first issue I really have with this TV, I found it a real problem owning it, is I want to load lots of photos. I want to load hundreds of photos, family trips, family photos. Now, if you load more than one photo at a time, if you load say 10 photos or 50 or 100 in a bulk load, whether you do it by USB or by the app or any of the methods available, I have tried them all. It will by default, it will not give you a full frame image like you see here, because when I load my images I want them to be full frame. It will actually, I'll bring up another image here, it will actually load all of your images with a default frame around the edge here. Now, I personally really don't like that frame and I want all my photos to be full image. This is really difficult. Let me explain further. Okay, I know what you're thinking here. Well, you could load them with the frames on it and then go in and define by default that you want to remove the frame from all of the images. It does not give you the option to do that either. So any images that are already loaded in the TV, if you want to remove this frame, you have to do it one image at a time. This is so frustrating. Trust me, it's frustrating. So, you know, if there's anyone out there in Samsung world, you guys really need to upgrade the firmware and change this particular issue. It's horrible. Okay, so let's talk about buying this TV and using it for art mode and to display art or photos. All the built-in galleries that come with the Frame TV are actually subscription services. So just understand that you're going to have to take out a membership and pay a monthly fee to display all of these artworks. Now, it appears there are competitor TVs on the market that you don't have to pay for and that it's included for free. And just coming back to what I was talking about earlier, if you want to load your own photos or artwork in the form of photos, it's quite a tedious process. So just be aware of those issues if you're considering buying the Frame TV. Just understand what you actually want to use it for. Now, just while we are in this art mode here, I just want to point out also that to go to your own artworks or own photos, they do have it right down the very bottom here. It's very much prioritized at the bottom, My Photo Album. So every time you want to go there, you've got to scroll down many button pushes. I find that a bit frustrating as well. So of course, one of the great things here is if you've got a whole lot of your own photos loaded, like this example, you've got friends around and you want to show them photos, you flip through photos, you can sort of navigate through here. I don't think it's the best navigation either, but you can navigate through and show different photos. But just be aware also, once you've finished here, if you leave this, it will not go back into auto rotation artwork mode. You do have to go back into the main menu and then scroll right back down to the bottom to your own gallery. In fact, I'll do it right now. You've got to go right back to the home menu slowly, and then you're going to go right down to the bottom and select your own album after lots of button pushes. Get to your album, and then you've got to go back to display all to reinitiate the automated artwork mode. Again, a little bit tedious. It really should be a lot easier and quicker, and maybe an option on the remote, and there just isn't. Now, just before I go any further, if you do find this information on my channel really useful, I'd really appreciate it if you give the thumbs up. Really helps me and my channel. Maybe even subscribe and check out my other videos. I may well be getting a replacement to this TV shortly because I'm just not really happy with the personal photo loading functionality of this TV, so keep a watch for that. I will have a comparison with both TVs if I have that on shortly. So maybe subscribe, and once again, thanks for watching. Let's continue on. Okay, one other little frustration I have with this TV is the remote control, this remote control. I'm sorry Samsung, but I think this is really a fail. Some people might like these simplified remotes, but what I find is that whenever I want to do anything with this, I've got to do lots of button pushes. I've got to navigate and go all over the place. 20 button pushes for something that in a traditional remote or other TVs you could do with potentially one button push. So really not a big fan of that. I prefer this kind of TV remote. Now, in addition to that, they decided to put a solar panel on this remote and make it automatic charging. A couple of issues. It means you're going to have to actually put this remote upside down on the table for it to be charging properly. And after a couple of years, the battery in this unit will fail and the whole thing will become landfill rubbish and you'll have to get a new one. Really, we should just stick with a normal remote. How difficult is it really to replace the batteries in a remote control? So just a real handy tip regarding remote controls before I summarize in this video here. If you do get remotes like that from a particular brand and you want a more traditional type remote, you can go and buy third-party Samsung, in this case compatible remotes, for $10 or $15 online, and you'll find most of the buttons on this will function on your television, such as channel number selections, etc. So if you decide you're like me and you don't really like this style, just go and buy one of these and try it out. Just a little tip for you guys. So just talking very quickly on the interface, I personally think this is just a little bit too cluttered, and the general navigation and layout I don't particularly like here on Samsung. Maybe some people do, but yeah, I just think it's a bit too cluttered and slightly non-intuitive in the way that you go through each of these options here. That's just my take on it personally. So all my comments and statements on this video, of course, are really just my opinions and my personal experience using this product. So just putting it out there for you guys to see, a real user and real owner of this TV, to make up your own minds in terms of what you want to buy and how you want to use a product like this. So just a quick summary. Okay, the concept here is great. The physical appearance here and the implementation with the frame is great, and the separate box down here, I really like it. But I think this product is really let down with some of its firmware design, especially around loading and managing your own photos or your own artwork loads. It's actually quite tedious in my opinion. It needs to be a lot better, even if to be able to reshuffle photos and add or take away frames. It just needs to be way better, Samsung. Now, in terms of your artworks, again, just be aware you're going to have to pay for a subscription to look at most of these artworks, which again, when I'm buying a TV like this and paying this much money, I don't really want to have to go and subscribe to another subscription service just to watch some artworks. So again, I hope you find that useful, guys. Again, thumbs up if you like it. Put your comments down below. I'd like to hear them, good or bad. And thanks for watching, guys. I may do another review of a competitor TV to this shortly. See you in the next one.